What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Alpha Bravo podcast, where we talk everything real estate. Whether you're a beginner or you have some experience, we'll share some tips and stories to help you succeed. I'm your host, Eric.
And I'm your co-host, Freddie.
And today we have a very special guest. He's a good friend of ours. He is a jack of all trades. He's a killer closer. He hosts a real estate meetup here in Charlotte. He's a mentor. He's a father. You name it, he does it. Please welcome to the show, Tre Via.
Trey, let's go. And the list goes on, man. The list goes on.
I was about to be like, man, this dude, okay. He's like Shannon Sharp out here, bro.
Hey, you do it all, man. So I had to throw it in there.
Appreciate you, man.
We're excited to have you on the podcast, man.
I got to tell a story, though, man. Like, when y'all came to the meetup, you was like, dude, you left me on red. You know how that hurt me? I'm like, hold on, I did what? And I looked back, I'm like, oh, it's my birthday, bro.
Yeah. Bro, you were one of the first people we thought of. We got to get Tre on the podcast. And then Freddie reached out to you. Yeah, it was your birthday, so we'll give you that.
Give me a pass.
Yeah, we'll give you a pass.
My
on
podcast that I had played around with, brought you on, so I would have returned the favor. Man.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while, just going back and forth, working together, collaborating, all this stuff. So just bringing you on just to get some of the knowledge you have.
For sure, man. For sure, I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, tons of knowledge in every aspect of real estate and beyond real estate, entrepreneur in general. Like, you're one of those when I'm first people that I met in real estate in Charlotte. Automatically, when you told me the stuff that you do, that you're about to do, that you currently are doing, hustle, man, hustle. That's the only thing, right? Hustle. He hustled. Right?
I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
So for the people that don't know anything about you, tell us a little bit about what you do right now, what you got going on.
Man, where we start? So I'm 31 years old, from Durham, North Carolina. I started out in the music industry when I was in Durham, got out of college. I pretty much started pursuing, being an artist, R&B. Toured with Tank, toured with Ronnie Bobby, Ricky Mike, did some stuff with a whole bunch of R&B cats. Fast forward, the pandemic hit, and then, I was pretty much on the island, like, all right, what am I going to do, right? So I pretty much came out to Charlotte in 2019, left my job August 2nd, 2019, and I literally came out here just to, like, figure it out. Like, I want to start new. I want to start from scratch. And then 3-4 months later, the pandemic hit. So I was already learning how to do some, like, driving for dollar stuff with Renard, who's my business partner now. He used to be my manager at Play It Again Sports when I was in college. So me and him, we were always tight. Once he left the job to start a gym, I left to work with the city of Durham to get a full-time gig after college. We pretty much, stayed in contact with each other. When I seen him doing real estate, I'm an ear hustler. So I'm like, hey, bro, what's this you doing, man? I just seen a $10,000 check. I want a piece of that.
Yeah, man. What are you
my
doing?
biggest check with the city was like $1,800.
And that's putting in 50 hours that week.
What I'm saying? or more. So I was just like, dude, like, help me out. So he would give me some game. He sent me like a course, a real estate Diddy course. Actually, that was my guru. That's the person I learned from.
Wait. Take it back. Real estate Diddy course.
Real estate Diddy.
Real estate Diddy. Keith Everett. He was one of the first people that I really studied under. In the wholesale game, and I was like becoming obsessed with it, bro. Like, I was watching all the modules, rereading them, rewatching them, and then he taught me how to drive for dollars. Now I'm working a 9 to 5. I'm pretty much like a manager at a recreation center, so I ran the building, right? Sometimes I work from like 6 a.m. to like 8, but I would have like these 3-hour breaks. So I would drive for dollars in between the breaks. So I did that for like 7-8 months, didn't really get a deal, but I was learning, so I wasn't, upset about not getting a deal. Finally came out here to Charlotte, and I started hitting the courthouse, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I learned the probates. When I first met y'all, I was like probate king. Like, I was going to the probate office, pre-foreclosure. Now, I finally got a deal February 2020. Mind you, I started driving for dollars June of 2019. And the next week, after we closed the deal, I locked another one up. Renard was like, dude, you want to be a partner?
You're onto something.
Like, you on fire right now. I'm like, look, man, I don't really have nothing else to do, you know what I'm saying, other than, my tour dates, which was coming up in March. What happened in March? 3 weeks later after that second deal, that I locked up, everything was shut down.
Everything shut down.
All my money, all my dreams. I had a few label deals that I was considering, but all that stuff washed out. The industry shut down. So I just went full real estate, like full throttle real estate. I became obsessed with it. I was going to all the meetups. I was like, dude, I got to learn this because I don't have nothing else. I had already exhausted my 401k, right? Because, I came to a new city, so I needed some money. So all my money from my 401k was gone. And I was like, dude, I'm going to just start from scratch. And here we are, man. I'm still out here trying to figure it out. You know, I'm not 100% where I want to be. You know, who is? But I'm good, man. The business is doing good. You know, me and Renard are still partners to this day, and yeah, man, I'm excited about the future.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
I love that.
There's a lot to unpack in there.
Yeah.
Because and as every guest that comes here, it's different stories, but similar.
Yeah.
The attitude that you had.
Yeah.
Anybody else could have just taken, well, I've been working pretty much all my life to become an artist, and I get punched in the throat by life. Like pandemic just happened.
Yeah.
What do? Yeah, you can sit down and go back to your safety, go back home and start your W-2, but what do, bro?
Hustle.
Just
dude,
turn around and hustle. Like, okay,
let
let me start over again.
I was donating plasma. I was y'all know the story.
You gotta do what you gotta do to make
bro,
money,
I was
man.
door dashing. I was going to like they call them like liquidation warehouses where you like buy a pallet bulk, break it down and resell the items on Facebook Marketplace. I was doing that for a long time. Just anything just to, you know, to swim, man, until I can get myself on my feet,
100%.
man. And it just got to the point where I heard someone say, like, if you continue to do something long enough, you're eventually gonna get successful at it. And like, it took a long time for me to realize real estate profits. Like, it took a long time. You know, we're talking about first time driving for dollars in 2019, and I didn't stop going to plasma till like summer or maybe like top of 2022. Talking about 3 years of just still trying to hustle, where we would have some great months, but we didn't have the consistencies to where it's like I didn't have to do the, you know, the side hustle that was killing my body or beating me up. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't trade it for anything either, you know, because I look back and say, like, now, like my hustle for the business now is I don't want to go back there. You know, I don't want to go back to having to go and have a needle in my arm for an hour and a half and I'm pumping my hand just to make $70-$80. It's like, dude, I don't want to do that no more. So that's like in my head every day that gets me, you know, keeps me going.
100%.
Yeah, you said something key there where it's like if you do something long enough, you know, it'll kind of take off. That's the definition of the compound effect. You know, the compound effect is one of the most powerful things in the world that people don't realize.
For sure.
And it's something that I learned later in life. But if you can understand that concept of sticking with something, whether it's real estate, whether it's investing in stocks or whatever, like the biggest thing that is the most common way that term is used is in stock investing, right?
For sure.
Because if you can invest money in like S&P 500, for example, and it just sits there, but it compounds after 30, 40, 50 years, you know, that money it's crazy what happens because it just shoots up after a while. And so, but that happens with everything, right?
Sure.
You stick with real estate long enough, eventually you're going to be a beast at it because you're just putting the reps in, putting the reps in.
Go to the gym long enough, you're going to see a muscle pop out.
Right,
It's like,
right.
It's how it is,
right.
Sure.
So that's what's up, man. Like I think just the mentality you have of just, you know, you were in a situation where your back's against the wall, right? And you got to make it work. You got to make it work. And why would you, for you in your mindset, why never go back and get like another job? Why was, you know, you're flipping, you're doing all this other stuff to kind of, you know, be on your own. Why never go back and get a W2 job?
I mean, I'll be honest,
like
man.
that?
It was an ego thing, bro.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. It was an ego. Yeah, think about it. When I left my job, you know how many people told me I was crazy?
Yeah.
You know, my boss told me, "You sure about that?
You're going to end up in the band somewhere."
You know, and so with me, it's like, it's ego. You know, I'll be a man about it and say, like, I didn't want to prove them right. My mom and dad didn't want me to leave my job, like, and that's just out of love. Like, you're doing so good now. You went to school. You know,
why you're leaving the safety. You know,
I get my master's. You did all this just to stop doing it, and I'm like, yeah, well, the 9 to 5 has been killing me.
That
like,
ain't it, man.
You know what I mean? Like waking up at 5 a.m. and then I get home at 8 p.m. and it's just like, dude, I even if I wanted to do something else, I couldn't. And now, all right, I'm doing my music, so 7, 8 o'clock. Now I'm going to the studio. It's like, dude, my body was just getting beat up, you know. And I was young, so you know, at that time I'm 22, 23, 24. So I think it was okay, but I couldn't do that right now.
Yeah,
so it's you know, I had to make that decision. But mainly ego, man, ego. And I think because I am, you know, I came from the stock market, you know, traded Forex and all that. I did see like the potential of, okay, if you put a little bit of money in something, right, and you make a great financial, I guess you could say financial decision or analyst, you know, you can grow that money. It can compound, like Eric said. And so for me, that was big. I was just like, well, if I can do it in the stock market, maybe the real estate might do the same thing for me. And when I was seeing Renard getting all these wholesale checks, and I'm like, hold on, he's he's an entrepreneur because he has his own gym and he still has time to do this, right? If I go 100% with it, what could it pay off for me? Because I know me. Like, I know if I put my head to something, if I put my head down and grind, I'm going to see the dividends. I know that. In anything I touch, I know if I go hard with something long enough, it's going to pay off. And that's all I did, bro, for like a year and a half, 2 years, other than like the door dashing and trying to make money on the side. Bro, I was literally in real estate.
Nice.
Like Max Maxwell, Real Estate Diddy, Steve Train, studying everything. If I didn't have money to go to a mastermind, I'm going to wait till they drop the YouTube recording. Like, dude, just becoming obsessed with it because I didn't have nothing else to turn back to, and I wasn't going back to the job just to prove everybody right. So,
right.
Yeah, no, that can be that's a big motivator. You know, trying to prove someone.
Yeah, I feel like just like you're quitting your job, especially you have the safety net of that job, that income, you have a family to support. People are gonna start looking at you crazy, like, why are you leaving? I did that to Eric. Yeah. He was telling me that my truck gets paid, gas gets paid, food gets paid. I travel, like, why are you quitting? You quitting that to come to work with me and start this adventure in real estate. Yeah. But that's the thing, you know what you can do, right? Yeah. That's it. Nobody else does it but you. You're the only person inside of your head you're capable of doing. But not a lot of people have that confidence. It's like anything that I put my mind to it, I will see it. Yeah. How do you develop that confidence? It was like, you know what? Yeah. I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it was the music industry, honestly, because I had so many odds against me in that lane either. I can just be completely transparent. Like, you look at Chris Brown, you look at me. I'm not Chris Brown, right? Yeah. I'm not that guy, right? But I had talent, I knew how to command a stage. I've always been a master marketer. I know how to get people in the door, and I know how to get people to see what I have going on. So for me, I kind of use that same mindset in the real estate. Mm-hmm. Same exact thing. Even with the entrepreneur, I'm like, dude, I can do this. Okay. Like, I'm watching Keith Everett, I'm watching Real Estate Diddy, and I love that guy. But I was like, man, if he can do it, I think I can do it too. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think, like I said, man, after a while, if you just keep doing something, you keep knocking on that door, eventually it's going to open up, Right. And, I think now, meeting you guys was amazing too, because I think, Eric, I used to do the football Sundays at my house, and we would talk, real estate. We would share books and stuff like that. And, when I first, came to Charlotte, I didn't have people that I could really, rub shoulders with, right? Because, like, this isn't my home. I've only been here 2025, so this will be 6 years this year in August, when I first got here, man, like, everything was just so different. Yeah. Like, going to the meetups was like, dude, it's like different. Scary. I'm like, all these guys talking about they did all these deals, they did all these fix and flip stuff, and I'm just trying to get 1 or 2 wholesale deals across my, across the desk, man. And that was tough, but I was meeting people like Eric. Who else did I meet? Eric, I met you. Eric from iFund Cities. I met a lot of people, Ed Pugh, like guys that really like put their hands around you, and guide you, man. Yeah, and so I'm super grateful, man, to be here in this community as well, 100%. Because everyone helps each other in Charlotte for sure.
And I'm a good test for that, because I wasn't born and raised in Charlotte. I'm from New York. Come on over here. New York is a bunch of gatekeepers. It's a big city. Yeah, it's a concrete jungle. So you gotta know you gotta be on your P's and Q's. Yep. So I come with that background. I was like, you telling me something, I gotta double check, man, because that just the New York mentality in big cities.
Because she's like, there's no way you're trying to help
exactly.
me.
Like, it has to be a catch, bro. There's no way you're telling me how to invest like this. Until shit you now, we went to Ed Pugh's meetup, CLT buyers, like
giving out game, just
free game with
it's crazy, man.
And then you see people like selling this shit online, and like, nah, this guy just had coffee with me, and he told me exactly what to do. Eric and we will go over there. Yeah, right?
we literally be like, hey, we got this deal. What do we do now? And they just like walk us through. Okay, do this. I'm like, dude, what the heck?
Those are good guys, man. Shout out to Ed and Mike. 100%. Good people, for
absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And you touch on that, how you bring people together, which you still shows, and you're still doing it. So I think there's a segue to like how you bringing people together. Because you have multiple ways to bring people together. So you have
the meetups, man. The meetups is fun. I think the meetups. Dude, I do that because of my passion for entertainment, being in the music industry. I used to put my own shows together. So being a host is natural to me. And I think when I was afraid of doing it at first because I didn't want to, like, the imposter syndrome. It's like, dude, should I even be in front of the... But then it's like you start flipping back and you look at all the stuff you've done. I'm like, well, dude, at the time when I started doing meetups with Jared, before we launched our own platform, we had already did 120, 130 wholesale deals. We had already did like 5 to 8 flips. We already had a few rental properties. I'm like, dude, like, why can't I put something together? It's not 100%. Like I'm gonna talk every single segment. I'm bringing people in, but I just needed to see, like, all right, bro, let me do it one time and let me see how it is. And the first one, I was so nervous, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about I had anxiety for like 2 weeks leading up into it. Because, like, I'm afraid to get on the mic. I don't want to come off as an imposter. People really didn't know me like that top of 2023. Like, around here, I mean, I knew a few people just from rubbing shoulders, but it wasn't like they knew who I was. And so I was just like, man, I just wonder how this is going to be. And then we did it. It was dope. And I rocked with Jared for, I want to say my first one with Jared was like March or April. And then, you know, I ended up, you know, doing my own thing, top of 2024. But, you know, shout out to Jared too, because he gave me the motivation to even, you know, do the meetups. And now I know it's possible. He gave me the game. He showed me the ins and outs of it, you know, with booking stuff, making sure you're speaking, like just all of the organization parts to it, man. He put me on. So shout out to Jared as well.
No, shout out to him. He was a guest in our podcast too a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And same thing with him. Like, he was like, I don't know how to put this networking event together. I don't know. And everybody goes through almost similar stories, like the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
It's like, why do I gotta provide? But bro, and then you look back all the deals that you've done.
Like, dude, why? I should have been doing one.
Exactly.
I think the imposter syndrome is interesting because almost every entrepreneur that I know has gone through that phase. You know, where it's like, I know what I'm talking about, but like I don't know if I'm qualified to teach other people or talk about it on a podcast or lead a meetup, and it's like I don't know, and I think this is so common. But it's something that I mean, it's been studied for so long.
You had it bad.
Oh, of course,
man. I used to be like, dude, you need to be on social media, man.
100%.
We used to talk about that like every time I say, I'm like, man, you need to post something. He was like, nah, I'm not ready yet.
You're smart. Like every time I have a question about like real estate, they go, help me understand. And he breaks it down Barney style to me. I'm like, and I told him, I was just like, dude, once you start though, and you realize, even though there's so many people that's done more than you in this business, there's even more people that's never done it at all.
Right.
It's that everyone is a novice. Like, we think just because we see all these people that we look up to on our social media accounts or on our YouTube and all that, and it's just like, dude, I'm not there, so I'm afraid to get on. But it's like, dude, I know 100 people that I can tell you that's never done a wholesale deal, that's never flipped dirt, that's never done anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, my audience might not be for the super advanced level right now, but I do have a market here. And one of the things I learned about marketing is you gotta identify your target market. You gotta know, where do you fit in? What is your niche? And I came in doing my simple video, social media content, and I was just like, same thing with him. I'm like, dude, man, I don't even know. Like, people are gonna look at me crazy. But then I'm getting like 15 comments like, hey, dude, I got a question. Can I DM you? And they DM you. And it's just like, the stuff they're asking me is so basic, but it's like, to them, it's not, right?
Right.
And it made me realize, I wish I had someone to give me that game when I started.
Right.
So the game you're giving, bro, it's kind of like a karma, man. It's gonna come back to you. Give the people the free knowledge. Give them as much as you can. Right now, I'm not telling you to, you know, take advantage of your time, right? Because time is currency. But you know, look, man, you DM me a question. Hey, I'm gonna guide you, right?
Right.
Now, if you want to take it to the next level, we gotta go mentorship style, right? But
talk a little bit about that. Is that kind of what led you into the mentorship? You had a lot of people reaching out to you.
Too many people, man. Too many people. And you know, me and Renard, we've always been the type of people to just give. You know, if someone needs to get on a call, Zoom call, do it for free, you know. But it got to the point where it's just like, especially with the meetups, it's like, dude, after a meetup, I would probably have like 15 text messages. I would have like 25 new followers and like 7 DMs. I would have like 5 emails. And it got to the point where I'm like, I still
have a whole business too.
Boom. It's like, dude, I still got to wake up in the morning and hit the phones. And I'm like, well, how do I prioritize, you know? And that's the hardest thing with this is learning how to separate yourself from, all right, I'm Tre, I'm going to give all this game, to where, all right, now it's kind of crossing the line, and it's just like, I've been on the phone with you for an hour and a half, and my staff's been blowing my phone up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I would say the mentorship, man, we just end up getting an overwhelming amount of people that needed help, and they wanted to pay. Like, dude, I'll pay you $100 to get on a Zoom. I started out just consultations.
Right.
$50-$60 for an hour, you know, because I had to figure out, you know, my time, because that hour that I'm not with my staff or comping stuff or on the phone myself, I might have missed out on a 10, 20, 30K deal.
Yep.
So like, I had to get something out of it. But that $60, dude, I'm giving you everything.
Right.
Like, I'm talking about, man, I get off the call like, dang, bro, I just freaking gave him a mini mastermind session,
mastermind,
you know? And then after a while, man, me and Renard came together, and we was like, dude, Like, we got to get out of our own way, get out of our head, and understand this is just another business. Education is a business. People do this all the time. However, when we do it, we're going to make it super affordable and we're going to over deliver.
Right.
Like, if you go through our Google Drive right now and you see what we charge people to get into the course, to the community, you'll be like, dude, this is crazy. From novation docs. Like, if you're the super novice, you can come in and learn wholesaling, but then we have flip calculators in there. We're teaching people how to buy and hold, how to do novations, how to evaluate seller finance subject to deals. Like, it's not just the basic. Yeah, we got the wholesale course in there, but once you come in our community, we want you to move how we move. When we underwrite a deal, I'm not looking at it as a wholesale deal. I'm looking at it like, okay, what gives me the best ROI for this property, right? And that's how we pretty much teach everyone in our community.
That's what's up, man.
I
That's
love
what's up.
that.
It's not like, I love it because now you're seeing your hard work come to fruition, and there's a lot of people like you post on social media. It's like, hey, we made this $10,000 assignment fee. All they had to pay like a couple $100 just to learn that.
Dude, that's the best.
And I'm pretty sure like when he was going through that stuff his first time, he really didn't know what was going on.
Spanish. He was like speaking a different language. Like,
exactly.
Like, I was just like, dude, man, when I see guys get deals closed, it's a different feeling.
Is there one like stands out to you that was like a really...
Oh yeah, man. I got a guy, his name's Mr. Mons. He's in Durham. I'm from Durham. So Mr. Mons is from he lives in Durham. He came from the restaurant industry. So he had like an Italian restaurant, or like I think it was Italian, or Italian restaurant in Durham. And it was a really good restaurant, but during the pandemic, he pretty much, lost the business, had to walk away from it, right? But he came to us. He was one of our first cohorts. This was like October of 2023, maybe. October 2023. And he came in, he gave us his story, like, dude, right now, man, like I'm doing good money-wise, but I just want to, show my wife that, I can do something else outside of just, the restaurant, being that, we no longer have it. And I'm talking about, it took him about 6 to 8 months, man, to get a deal. And it was like, we gave him everything, but a lot of people don't realize in this business, you have to take action. Like, you can't expect to make 10, 20 calls a day and you're going up against Virtus, you're going up against Alpha. Like, dude, it's hard because this is what we do for a living. And I think it clicked around like June of last year, and he got his first deal, man, $25K. And like his testimony was just amazing. And he was just like, Trey, you're right, man. Like, all the times when I would come complaining about not having a deal, not getting a deal done, you just kept telling me, like, well, how many calls you make this week? I might have made 40. I'm like, dude, I'm cranking out 40 in probably
like
3 hours.
3 hours, bro.
3 hours.
Like, so it's like, it's a different game, and you have to. And people think this is so easy, bro. The concept of wholesaling is easy,
right?
But bro, it's work.
Right.
Like, you're working, man, and you're either gonna work or get outworked. I had another guy who did a $50K deal. He was one of my first consultation guys. Mm-hmm. So he came with me from booking Zoom calls to coming over to REI Genesis. And what's crazy is we JV'd the deal. We was like, look, we're gonna make 10, you make 50. We're not greedy, but we gotta make something, dude. Like, I'm doing transactions. We're handling dispo. It's like, bro, make your 50K. Most people do a 60-40 or 50-50 split. Yeah. I think the numbers came down to like 90-10 or like 85-15. It was something small. But I wanted him to see, like, bro, it's okay also to go and get help so you can continue to do acquisitions.
Right.
A lot of newbies come in, they get a deal. What happens? They got to pause lead flow because now they got to go into dispo. I'm like, bro, you're in New Jersey. We're right here. This is our backyard. It's Raleigh. Like, keep doing what you're doing. We want you to make 50, man. We're going to make sure you get what you're supposed to get. Let us get a little bit of something just for our time. You're good to go,
Right.
And him seeing that, it opened his eyes like, dang, Trey, you're right, man. Like, you don't got to get 100% of the grape. Let me get a piece of the watermelon. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, man, stuff like that is just dope to see, man, because me and Renard put a lot of time into the mentorship, into the back office resources that we put together for them. And to see now that we have almost 40 members in, and we started it out in October of 2023, and we have about 40 members. And it's not monthly. It's a one-time fee. We're about to go monthly for people that just want to get into the Discord. But, man, it's dope to see it. Yeah. And people are actually, like, it's a deal or two or maybe 3 in the Ring the Bell chat every single week where people are making 5, 10, 15, 20 grand. And it's like, dude, that's the best feeling ever, man. Best feeling ever.
I love it. I think it goes beyond the money, right? Yeah. I think we all agree here, like, okay, money is whatever, but it goes beyond that because you're helping somebody change their life.
Mentally change their life. Not necessarily financially. Here, like, my little brother's in the military. He's in REI Genesis. He's just now about to get out of the military. So now he understands how much hustle. He came in with Mr. Mons in October in the beginning, hasn't got a deal yet, but he sees, dang, bro, I get it, man. I was only making 5 calls a day. I'm like, yeah, bro, you might get lucky, but you're probably not. You know, it's like the lotto. You know what I mean? So
that's like on social media. There's like, I see a lot of people. I made $20,000 and just flipping papers. All right, bro, but tell me how you found the distressed property, how you convinced Mr. Seller to get out with the 10 cash. Right.
That takes a lot. The mindset is 90% of it. Like you can learn any business, you can learn any model of how to make money, but if you don't have the right mindset, none of that's going to make any difference, right? So you have to coaching that is the first thing, and then teaching the concepts is the easy part, right? Because I mean, this is stuff that you've repeated over and over. This is stuff that you're doing in your own business, and it's like, look, this is what we did, this is how we did it, and this is how you can do it too. But if you're not out here making the calls you got to make, sending the emails you got to, if you're not out here doing the work, it's none of this is going to make any difference.
Not gonna matter, man. Yeah, and I think the biggest thing with that point is like, with mindset, like, so we do our weekly calls every Wednesday, 5:30. We have a weekly call. Either me and Renard will kind of go over something, maybe go over something we just learned. We might underwrite deals, or we'll bring speakers in. Like we brought Eric from iFund to talk about lending. We brought some investors in the multifamily apartment space because that's what me and Renard we're gonna look to get into this year. We brought fix and flippers, buy and hold guys, Airbnb. So we bringing different things in. But then we brought in a mindset guy, Patrick. If you know Patrick Menifee, from Charlotte Entrepreneurs, we brought him in to speak 100% on mindset. Because that's big, man. In this industry, title issues come up. You're talking about mentally getting worn out after you've closed the deal. You did all the marketing to get it. You lock it up. You're thinking about to make $20K, 15, 20,000, whatever. And then you find out it's a title issue that can't be fixed. Dude, that's enough to make someone say, I don't want to do this anymore.
100%.
And a lot of newbies, their first deal sometimes is a title issue. And it makes them say, man, it doesn't work. Right, so it's that mental. That one of the things with Mr. Mons, his first deal was title issues that came up. Kind of sat him down. He was like, "Man, I ain't gonna lie, Trey, man, I stopped marketing for about 2 months because I kind of I'm like, see, that's why I say you can't stop. Once you stop swinging the bat, there's no chance for you to get it out of the park. But even if I swing and I miss and I keep missing, I have a chance to succeed and convert. So mindset is huge for sure.
No, that's dope. I love that mindset. Marine Corps is very big on mindset. My mindset was not like that, but thank God I went to the Marine Corps and got my mindset right. Exactly. So I needed that correction to actually unfuck myself, literally, because I was in New York growing up, 20 manager at a clothing store. I was up to no good. Joined the Marine Corps, mindset shift. Never looked back. But the mindset, I bring it from the Marine Corps and I learned that and I brought it over here in real estate, bro. It's just like that's the same common thing that I say with all my clients. It's like no action. I could sit down with you 60 minutes, 2 hours, a whole day, tell you what to do. But if you don't get up and actually do it yourself, do the action, you will never get there. But the scariest part is like you don't know like what's next.
Right.
You don't know.
Right. So for people that are just, scratching the surface, trying to get into real estate, whether that's wholesaling, flipping, novations, there's a plethora of things you do. What's a piece of advice you give to someone that's just trying to get into real estate?
I would tell, do they have money or don't? Like,
we'll say they don't have money. Don't have money.
Learn real estate, man. I mean, learn wholesaling, because wholesaling is the genesis of the deal, right? And I think wholesaling now has like a bad perception in a sense, because everyone's trying to do it and hit these monster, assignment fees. But I think the biggest thing with wholesaling is you put yourself in a position where you have options, right? That lot that we were talking about before. Where, our first new build, where everyone else in the neighborhood is paying 70 to 85. Now, that same lot, I could have sold it for 55 and made 15, but I took it down at 40, so I pretty much, I underpaid, not underpaid, but I saved myself 30 to 40 grand, 100%. Which made it a great land deal. But I don't do that. I don't put myself in that position without understanding direct to seller marketing, I understand wholesaling. And wholesaling, let's stop the narrative. You're going to need some money, right? Because everyone, like you said, you see an ad like, oh, I made 20 grand, right? And with no money, it's like, dude, well, if you drove for dollars for, let's say 2 or 3 weeks before that deal went across, you spent gas, you used the deal machine app, right? That free trial is going to eventually run out. You use PropStream to underwrite. Because you can just use Zillow, but let's be honest, it's kind of hard.
It's not meant for that.
It's not meant for that. So it's like, you're going to need a little bit of money, but there are a lot of free resources. Like my first few deals came from the probate office, where I went right into the county courthouse. I went to the probate office and I asked the lady very nicely, "Hey, how you doing? I'm an investor, new to the area, first time here. Can you kind of help me, navigate the probates and what are you guys' protocol, right?" She's like, "Okay, yeah, here you go. Just write this down. Fill your name in, sign in, and you only can pull 5 at a time. Go into the computer, boom, boom." So she didn't really give me the help I needed, but there was another guy in there. And he ended up helping me out, and he showed me how to actually find the probate
on those computers.
On the computers,
that's hard as hell, man.
Yeah, like I don't like so other county other courthouses is better. Like Concord is cool. You just can't bring your laptop or computer.
Yeah, you can't bring your phone. You have to leave it in the back. Like I leave my phone, bro.
80s, like
right.
I can't bring my phone in here. Durham, North Carolina is perfect.
Yeah,
like you can go in there and say, "Hey, I want probates from March, and I want you to start from the newest ones," or "I want probates from." So different counties are going to have different regulations. You just got to figure out which county you like the most.
Different attitude too.
Yeah, man. Pre-foreclosures. I used to go to the county for that, but now you can go on websites and get all that pre-foreclosure data. That's all free stuff, man. All you got to do is just skip trace it for 3 to 8 cents a record. And now you can start dialing. So I would say wholesaling, man, because if you can understand how to find a good deal cheaper than going on the MLS, right? Because the MLS will have great deals, but sometimes, let's be honest, I'm going to get a better deal off market than on market most 100%. Of the time, right? And it just allows you to have options. So I would say learn how to wholesale, find you a mentor. I'm not saying me. Find you a mentor or go on YouTube and study one person. Don't study 5 people.
Yeah.
Just study one person, right? Because they clearly know what they're doing, right? Study, right? Make good notes, right? And apply, man, and execute.
I love that, man. I love that. Tre, thanks so much for coming on the podcast, man.
Sure,
you dropped a lot of gems.
Sure,
we'll definitely have you on again.
Yep.
We could talk for hours. I know.
Sure.
But tell the people, where they can find you. Tell them a little bit, what about the mentorship, the real estate meetup. Tell them all that information.
For sure. Yep. So I guess I'll start social media platform. Trez Closet, TREZCLOSEDIT. That's pretty much the real estate, my real estate personal page. REI Connect is the meetup. So REI Connect _ that's going to be our meetup page. And we pretty much, I would say we're doing meetups every month, but we're kind of like, we're not doing it every month, like consistently. We're doing it like maybe, once or twice a quarter. We're trying to kind of like find our niche because we're not trying to just do meetups. We're trying to do some, like take people out to different job sites and stuff like that. So we're trying to find our niche. But for right now, if you follow the REI Connect page, you'll be able to see all of our upcoming events, and we'll have flyers posted and all that good stuff. If you have any, questions about the mentorship, you can reach out to me, DM me, Trez Closed It. Or I'll give you my, business number, 704-885-2353. Any questions, shoot me a text, and, let's make it happen.
Phone's about to blow up now.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
That's Mike Jones'
network is currency, baby.
That's
network
right.
is currency.
That's
Let's
right.
do it. Yeah, man.
Well, thanks again, Tre. Really appreciate it, man. We can't wait to have you on next time, man.
Appreciate y'all, man.
See you guys.
Yes, sir.
No shot, no gimmick, no gimme look. No plan, go get it, no giving up. No gas, get a mask like give it up. Gotta get it, gotta kill it like fill it up. No drop, no wait, no hold on.